Welcome to the Generational Icons podcast. This is your host, Sam.
And this is Shaquille. We have a great new episode today with a superstar, in my opinion, our guest of honor. I mean, he has so many titles that I don't even know if me saying those titles is going to fulfill anything. So actually, I will let him introduce himself. Ladies and gentlemen and friends of the Generational Icons podcast, please give a round of applause at home, obviously, to the man of the hour, Emran Bhuiyan.
Thank you, Sami Bhai.
Thank you.
And thank you, Shakil Bhai, for having me here. My name is Emran Bhuiyan, a Director of Sales and Realtor at Exit Realty Premium. Today, I'm excited to be here because when both of you guys reached out to me about this podcast, I'm like, are you sure you're calling the right person? Because I don't feel like I'm a generational icon. But today, I'm excited to be here to share my personal experience with real estate journey that I had in last 5 years. Excited to share these stories. Maybe, hopefully, who people are watching and listening to our podcast will learn from our experience, and I'm excited to be part of this and part of this journey and see what's happening, what's gonna happen, what the amount of people that you guys gonna bring in to this podcast. I'm excited to listen to everyone's story and learn from it.
Right. Thank you seriously for coming. We're very excited. I know you're probably tired. You work very hard and you have a lot of things going on, so we're very honored for you to come here today and kind of share your insight and your knowledge and your expertise, right? So thank you so much for coming. It is actually a very, and when I said the man of the hour and it's the honor is ours, I really meant it.
Thank you.
So as you know, we've talked a lot about this podcast, right? The goal behind our this podcast, right? Ultimately, the goal is for us to create a media company that we can kind of help the communities that we serve. And so as it being a financial literacy podcast, one of the things that we want to focus on, well, actually 3 things that we want to focus on, which are our 3 segments, right? So the first segment is culture
and identity.
And basically what that is just, kind of talking about who you are, where you came from, what your background looks like growing up. So if you don't mind kind of sharing some of that, if whatever you feel comfortable sharing, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
So Imran, give us a little background. How did Emran Bhuiyan come to be? How are you such a successful agent in our community? Where did it all begin? Give us a little insight of your journey.
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, these are great topics like culture and identity. What's my background? So I come from Bangladesh. I'm sure both of you are from Bangladesh as well. Right. I was born and raised in Sylhet, and I'm the youngest in my family. So my parents decided to send me to Islamic school, to madrasa. So that's from day one. Mm-hmm. Then I memorized the Quran, alhamdulillah, and very early age.
Mashallah, yeah.
So by the time I was 12, 13, I completed the memorization. Then I went to study Islamic study for higher education. By the time 2013, my uncle applied. He applied about 10 years ago, like 2001, 2002. For my family to come over to America. So 2013, December, we came to America. And the rest was history, we didn't even history.
Long awaited reward. For those who don't know, basically like to apply for someone from a country like Bangladesh, it takes about 10 to
12 years. Now I think it takes longer, like 15, 16 years. Yeah. So we didn't even know my uncle applied for us. So we found out like 2-3 years before we came to America. So when we found out we're coming to America, everything has changed. Like, okay, it's like a dream to come to America, right? It's like a land of opportunity. You can do whatever you like as long as you have the vision and the mission and the commitment. So when I came here, I first, like I said, I had a Islamic background, right? So America, when I came here, I tried to follow that, I went to a few of the Islamic institution to see if I can admit there. Because of the time and location, I couldn't manage it because we were living in the Bronx. Some of the Islamic school was in Queens. So for me as a new person here, it wasn't suitable for me to go there. So I decided, for time being, let me go to high school, let me finish my high school degree. Then maybe we'll think about what can I do. So at that time, for long story short, I decided to finish my high school, went to compete, getting a a degree on computer information system, like programming.
Yes,
I didn't like
CIS.
so I didn't like
was
that.
doing CIS.
Yeah,
back
so
in the
at that
days.
time I was driving Uber as well. So business was
So
always
like go
back
to
of my
school
head.
and driving Uber.
Yes, I was doing that.
I think the typical immigrant.
Yes, so
story.
because I also didn't like having a job, like working under someone, going there like this set hours, come back to this set hour. I didn't have any control on the income.
So you are what we call an NBL, which is a natural born leader. Basically. You were an entrepreneur when you came.
Yeah, so I was always looking for like, okay, how can I increase my income, or how can I get financial independency? Like, okay, I don't have to listen to someone to make money. I can make my own money. Like, I can control my time, because time is everything, right? You all have 24 hours a day. So what do you do with the time? How much time do you have for yourself and for your family? So I started thinking about long term. Like, I see our parents, they work their entire life. Even some people I know, they still work even their 60s, 70s, right? So I don't want to do that. So I say, you know what? I have to find something. I have to be a business owner. Where can I start? So I started Googling and all that. So I saw real estate, so wholesaling, right? There's so attracting videos, like you say, buy for cheap, right? And sell it for high. Like there's like 50%, 60% profit. I'm like, okay, I want to do that, but how can I do that? I don't have capital. You need money to buy property, especially in New York. It's so expensive. You need capital. So at that time, I was like, you know what? Maybe real estate might not gonna work for me. So I started working on career, like still driving Uber, working on getting my degree on IT. Then in that process, 2018, my parents bought their first house. So that's when I say, you know what? I saw the entire process.
You actually experienced it.
I experienced it.
What a home ownership felt like.
The
process.
And the process. Like, I know people are like having a home, having your own place in America is like American dream. It is an American dream.
Right.
So it's not that easy to accomplish that. So you need someone who can guide you from A to Z, from showing a property to the closing, and guide you through the entire process without having any agenda. When I say agenda, meaning there's a lot of people out there, a lot of agents out there, they just want to get to a house and get the commission, move on to the next one. I didn't want to be that. So I said, you know what? I want to be someone I'm not going to focus on making money. Yeah, that will be one aspect of it, but my focus is to help people own their own home, so I can help more people, thinking that owning a home is not
too far.
It's not too far. It's not too crazy, or it's not too hard to own a home. And the process is not that complicated if you have the right people on your side. So that's how I started the real estate and
your journey. That's amazing. If you don't mind, like us backtracking a little bit. First things first. For those who don't know what madrasa is, can you explain a little bit about like that? Like, you obviously know.
Of course. So it's like Islamic studies. So my parents wanted me to be like a imam or like a scholar, Islamic scholar. So I studied the Quran. Like I said, I memorized the whole Quran. I don't know the meaning of it because I didn't get there yet, because I started going to the Islamic school after memorizing the Quran. But then I came to America. Then situation changed, so I had to go to regular high school.
You have to like pivot.
So Islamic studies meaning like it's about learning your Islamic religion, teaching other people. So that's the main foundation, and understanding the Quran and the meaning of it.
That's amazing. I mean, like, it's not too often we meet someone who's a Islamic scholar, someone who memorized the Quran. I think that's amazing, right? And I think you said you're like, what? How many siblings are you? Said you're the last one.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of four.
Okay.
Wow. The youngest of four.
So then, because what I want to understand, right, in our background, in our culture, you know, I believe our culture plays such an important part in who we are today, right? Like, what is our identity? Obviously, you're very disciplined, right? Because in order for you to be, you know, like, I mean, go ahead.
I hope so. I'd like to think so.
I mean, one would think so, right, Sam? Because for you to really, truly be dedicated to like Islamic studies and remember the Quran, that takes a lot of discipline, right? I imagine. So my thought process, I think that played a significant role in who you are today and will continue to play. I think that's such a commendable thing, right? Like, discipline is really important.
And I'm not complaining because when we're young, we think a lot of things. Like we sometimes blame parents without even thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I'm a little older, now I'm thinking like whatever my parents did, they really
For your
did for my
benefit.
best, right?
Yeah.
So I'm appreciative. I'm very honored that my parents decided to send me to Islamic studies. So I have that understanding of God fearing. Like, okay, this world is not permanent. We have afterlife that we believe in, or Muslim believe in.
So yeah, so like give us a little quick rundown on how life is like at a madrasa. Like, it's kind of like a boot camp where it's a religious school and you're learning the Quran, which is 30 chapters. It's like very long, like it's a big scripture, and you've memorized it end to end. So how long did it take you, and how was that experience?
It's not an easy journey for me, because my parents, this was the smart part. They sent me from day one to school, to Islamic studies, because I didn't go to regular school. So regular school and madrasa is totally different. With regular Islamic studies, the madrasa is very strict, because you have to follow certain hours, like discipline.
Right. It's like military camp.
Yes, it's like I was to wake up like 5-6 in the morning, go to the madrasa, because I was going from my home. Some people, there's like, you can stay
they dorm at the madrasa.
So you stay there. But I stayed like 3-4 months. I couldn't. I missed my parents too much. So I decided to stay from.
So you commute.
You had the option to commute or stay.
Okay. Yes. So my parents, like when I was like 10 or 11, tried to send me to the school, like stay there and study from there. But I was too young. So I was too young. I didn't like that. So then I came home, and I was traveling from home to this madrasa. And it's very like you have to maintain a schedule. Like there's like 6 days a week. You only get one day off.
Yeah.
And like the whole day, like when I was in madrasa, I was going from 6 in the morning. I would come home 8-9 in the at night.
So that was like a full-time job.
Yeah, I did that for like I'll say 6-7 years.
Wow. Well, that's what I mean, like dedication and discipline, right? Like it definitely shaped. Like, are you this similar? Like, is your work ethic kind of similar to what it was?
Of course, definitely helped me. First of all, understanding and controlling my mind, because with this world we are in now, everything is so easy. Like internet, you can Google anything you want. Like internet itself is
especially like in the Western world, right?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, especially here. Like when I wasn't back home, maybe because I wasn't back home, it wasn't so easy to get hold of a phone.
Yeah.
We didn't have a smartphone at that time. We didn't have internet. We did have internet, but it wasn't so easy to get access to.
Yeah.
So it definitely shaped me who I am today. How to control a situation that, okay, if I'm not in the control of the situation, how can I control myself? Like, okay, how can I control my emotion? I want to do something. Like I want to release my stress. How do I do that? Right? People do different stuff. People exercise. People take different action. Like people do wrong thing to release their stress. I don't know if I'm getting trying to tell you what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
So definitely what that Islamic studies taught me, that just because things are not going your way doesn't mean you have the right to do the wrong thing.
Right.
Because every action has consequences.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what you do, it has consequences. And you have to answer every action. You have to answer to God, like, why did you do this? So that's in back of my head, right? Okay, we have to pray 5 times a day. We have to believe in God, right? We have to pay zakat. 5 pillars, right? All that. A lot of people just by doing that doesn't mean you're a good person. You also have to treat people nicely. You have to be honest,
ethical,
and you have to respect your parents. So with all that comes into one place, saying that that teaching helped me who I am today, and I feel like is every parent should. It's difficult to teach kids nowadays.
Right.
So I get scared because I'm married now. I'm thinking we're thinking to have kids in the future. I'm like, I don't know how my parents did it.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
Call me. I'll tell you. The stuff I go through. I tell you. My 5-year-old thinks he's 10. My 10-year-old thinks he's 15. This is what's happening.
So it's difficult. So I feel like Islamic studies, the religion should be the front and center of our lives. Because when you have rules, you have rules to follow, then everything else falls into places.
Yeah.
So that's a little background.
You find a purpose of
find a purpose.
Yeah.
Sense of purpose.
Sense of
Yeah.
purpose.
What did all of your siblings go to madrasa
No.
too, or like were you
It was just me, because in our culture, like most of our parents wants you to be doctor, engineer, like all this big shot, right? My parents decided, okay, youngest one, we'll send it to.
You were the chosen one.
I'm the chosen one. So I don't know if it was a good thing or bad thing, but
our second segment, which plays is a continuation of the first one, is health and wellness. So by health and wellness, we mean not just mental health, but also physical health and well-being. Like how you're coping with everything, how you're balancing your work-life balance. How that's going. Give us a little insight of that.
One thing I learned recently was everyone always says, and I think you'll find this interesting too. Everyone always says work-life balance. Right. And so I was speaking to somebody. He said, well, let me tell you about life-work balance. And so what happens is we center our work around our life versus centering our life around the work that we do.
Right.
Right. And so when you were talking about purpose, like I understood that because your purpose is, your part of your life is living your purpose. And so when you live your purpose, when you center your work around your life, you automatically look like you're successful. Why? Because you're living in your purpose.
I agree what you said. Is a lot of people get caught up with work-life balance. So in our business, like I'm in a people business, right? So I don't have set hours of like, okay, this is the hours I work. After that, I don't work. That's not how it is. Pretty much I try to be open to not 24/7. I have to sleep, eat, use the restroom and all that. But as much as I can, I try to be available for my clients because some clients be working all like 9 to 5 or late night shift. So they have questions they need answered to. So I also have families too, right? I have to give time to my family as well. So how I do is I try to have a schedule every day. Like if I wake up like 6 in the morning, I try to like 9:10 until 9:10 or like 8 p.m. If anyone wants to reach out to me during that time, I'm available. And even after that, like if something is emergency, I have a deal that need immediate attention and that I need to talk to a client, I might make a exception to respond to that, even if it's after hours. But to say that, I also sometimes have to take days off. Like I just came from a couple of days trip with my wife, and even though I was away, I could not be.
You were still working.
I mean, I tried to limit the work. Like still had to answer a few calls here and there, because we need that. Sometimes we need that little bit of
escape.
Escape. Like you have to escape from
breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. Because if we are only working, why are we working? Why do we need all this money for? If we are not gonna enjoy the life, right?
Do you think you always have to be on because of your work? Like, do you think you can take a week off and
because like you're in a customer service?
I don't think the stage I'm in my career, I don't think I can take a 1 week off. Like I cannot say turn off my phone for 1 week and disappear. I cannot do that. That's not gonna happen. But my goal is to that. That's my goal to get there. So like, okay, I'm at this stage of my life. Turn on my cell phone. I don't have to worry about anything right now because I already have team members or things in place that generating money or taking care of my business. So I don't have to worry about it. But I'm not there yet. But that's my goal.
I'm going off topic, but I'm curious. How does your wife feel about your, like you're always on? I guess, right? How does she feel?
That's the question for her. But from my perspective, I think in the beginning, if she's listening, I think it's for anyone who's experiencing experienced person who's a business owner who's always on. It's not very fun, or like they feel like you're not giving them attention, but it's not personal,
right?
Because you try to give that person, your partner, time. Also, you have to be active for your clients as well. Because if client think that you're not giving them enough time, then you have no business or you have no.
They'll just go and find somebody else.
Someone else, maybe. Yeah. So that's
well, in this case, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I do want to say this one thing. Yeah. He's been here for 2 hours and didn't pick up a phone call. Just want to say, so he can take the time out and he can turn the phone off. And so if he doesn't do it for you, Bobby, I don't know. You need to have a conversation.
Yeah. So it's you have to find a balance. Yeah. You have to find a balance, and you have to understand, like not everybody like. Business owner entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Right.
People think that if you're a business owner, you have so much freedom, so much power. That's yes or no. You have power and freedom. You don't have boss, but you are your own boss. You have to discipline yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot just say that, okay, I'm not going to work today and wake up like whenever time you like. Yeah. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You have to have a discipline. Even though you are your own boss, you have to follow certain rules, like certain steps, to generate business for yourself. Unless you're in a stage that the other day you mentioned you interview some billionaire, right?
Yeah.
They have a different lifestyle. Yeah. Or to get there, like is a different mentality and different lifestyle.
where we come from, all of us, where you can't think about.
That is beyond our imagination.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So it's just I can't wait to talk about that later on. But
entrepreneurship looks and sounds much easier than it actually is.
A lot of people they like having these set hours. Like, okay, I'm gonna work from 9 to 5. After that, I don't want to think about work. That's fine, as long as you are happy. That's what we're doing all this for. Like being to be happy and give more time to our family. If that makes you happy, go for it. But if you want more in life, I feel like business is the way to go.
So I definitely want to talk about that a little bit more later on. What I want to focus on is the health and wellness portion of it, right? How are you, given, like you said, hey, you have a very busy schedule. Obviously, there's so many different kinds of health, right? Physical health, mental health, emotional health, financial health, all of these things. How are you able to maintain all of that? What are some of the strategies you're using or doing in your life? Maybe you're doing it subconsciously and it's just, you're doing it. How are you able to handle all of this given the lifestyle that you have?
So I can start with mental health because mental health is such an important topic, especially when you're dealing,
the South Asian community. Also, especially all communities.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
And in our community, people are so like they want things right now. They don't want to wait. They want right now. I want an answer right now. I texted you 30 seconds ago. Why aren't you typing? Yes, why don't I see that dot?
Especially, people of our community.
Yeah, they want answer right away. They want things right away. So how do you deal with that? So you have to figure out a way to also not upset them, but also tell them, listen, things doesn't happen right away. Timing is everything. Everything takes time. Timing is everything. So if you let's say I'm a real estate professional, right? Let's say you want to see a doctor, right? You have to make an appointment. You have to go there, let the reception know that you're there. Yeah. The doctor is not going to see you right away.
You still have to wait.
You still have to wait. Yeah. So why do you think that they have one standard, but if it comes to different profession, you expect something else?
People expect that, because you're servicing them, that you're at their service 24 hours a day. But that's not the case.
That's not the case.
So like you are also an individual. You have your own life, a lot of people, they fail to realize that, that you're somebody separate.
Yeah.
The job you is also a different perspective of you, but you as an individual have a personal life too.
Right. I have personal life too, and I have emotion as well. Sometimes I might not be 100% right, or I might not be in 100% perfect, like how do I say it, like perfect stage on my life. Like, okay, everything is going perfect for me. I have bad days too. I have like bad weeks, bad months, right? So how do I deal with it?
At the end of the day, we're all human.
Human. But every time I speak to someone, I have to greet you with this smile, and I cannot pass my negativity to you. I had a bad experience or bad day, right? I cannot pass that on to you because you had nothing to do with my bad day. So I have to forget all that, or have to put all that aside and deal with, okay, this is a new person, new deal, new day, starts new. So my mentality is that, okay, I cannot control every situation. All I can control is my mind and what I do. So that's what I focus on. Like if the deal doesn't go through, this is what I say, like let's say a deal is not going through, right? Why isn't it going through? I find the problem, right? Can I solve the problem, or can I find someone who can solve the problem?
Yeah.
So that's what I focus on, like solving the problem. If I see there is no solution, move on to the next one. Why would I spend all this time when I know there is no solution, or I know that I cannot give the solution? Move on to the next one.
Right.
Instead of dragging and dreading on that situation that you cannot solve.
What are some things you think you can recommend, like people who are, let's say, who are in a high stress job, right? Like, what are some things that you think you can recommend to people when it comes to their health and wellness, whether it's eating right, whether it's, the physical health or emotional health or mental health? You obviously said, I just like, whatever is meant to be is meant to be, and whatever I can control, I'm going to focus on. Maybe because you're given your background and the culture that you were, that were raised in, maybe that's where that mentality came from. Or do you think that you are doing some things, you have some strategies that maybe you can share?
So if I, like, for example, I can share only my experience, right? Because if I'm in a stressful situation, let's say I woke up, right? I know what I have to do today. Some of the things are stressful. I don't like it. Some of the things I have to have some difficult conversation with a client or someone. I have to have it's not easy conversation. It's not fun. How do I do it, right? Should I take on it as soon as possible, or should I push it towards the end of the day? What I do, I try to take that as soon as, like, take that action, or have that tough conversation as soon as possible.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the system, right? Because as long as it's in my system, it's bothering me. It's not helping me move on to the next one. So I cannot have everything in my mind. So I have a notebook and I write down things. Okay, these are the things I have to take care, and whichever is tough, I try to take care of it as soon as possible, so it's out of my head, so I can focus on other things.
So you deal with the hard things first.
The hard things first. Like if you see something is difficult, something is bothering you, what can you do to improve it? Maybe it could be something that some skill that you don't have the skill, right? Can you get that skill? Can you do something to develop that skill so you can do better job of that situation, so you don't have to face that situation in the future? So
exactly.
End of the day, it will be maybe you can do that job, or maybe you cannot. So if you find out that this, like, I can give you an example for myself, that let's say I'm working with a buyer, right? And they've been working with me for like 6 months, 12 months, right? They have a specific budget. Right now, we know the market is not very friendly for buyers, right? Especially first-time buyers. Exactly. Property prices are ridiculously high. So how do you answer to someone? Let's say a property comes into the market for 600,000, right? You've been working with me for 1 year, right?
Right.
You made an offer. We made an offer for 600,000, full asking. Sometimes you even offer over asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the property.
Yeah.
You asking me, why didn't I get the property? I tell you, it's not me. It's you, the seller. You got 10 offers on the property. You decided who you want to go with.
Yeah.
But he's telling me that I offered 10,000 more than your asking price. Why didn't you accept my offer?
Yeah.
So how do I answer that question? So I tell them, listen, it's not me, it's the seller. There's 10 offers. We don't know what are the 10 offers, right?
Right.
The seller is not going to discuss with us.
Yeah,
because they have to give fair service, fair.
There's a lot of legalities to real estate that people don't understand.
Not just reality. Seller wants to give fair shot to everyone. Like if there's a 10 offers, if they start telling every offer that, okay, this is how much I want, and if all of them come up, who's getting the house? Only one person is getting the house, right?
Exactly.
So it's not a fun conversation. Sometimes client blame us, the agent, that okay, you may be not the right person to help me.
Yeah.
Maybe we're doing the best we can, but it's not just the market is not helping.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, there are good and bad agents too. Like some agents, they just got their license, they don't know what they're doing. Getting license is so easy now. Like just complete 77-hour course,
right?
Join an office and start showing houses.
We our show, our podcast is called Generational Icons, right? So I do have to ask him this, like, what's your and I will tell you our definition of and why we came up with generational icons. What is your definition of generational icons? Like, what do you think when you hear generational icon? What is like the first thing that comes up to your mind?
First thing comes up to my mind is someone that did something that none of the family members or the people that you know have done it yet
Or accomplished
yet. So let's say I know someone who achieved so many goals that I don't even know anyone who did something like that. So they're successful, they're happy, they have time, they're spending more time with their families, and they're happy, and they're giving money away to charity and all that. So that's my that's my understanding of generational icon, that you are happy what you're doing, and you're doing you have a purpose in life.
Right. Somebody who's different from the rest of the...
Of course, you definitely have to be different. Not everybody will like you. You'll have haters who think that you're money hungry, like you only look for money, but money is the evil. People say that, and a lot of people think that money is the evil of all things. But if you don't have money, then you're gonna have big problem as well. So it's matter how you see it. So I would say someone who is successful and happy with what they're doing, and they have time for life they built, and for the future generation as well. Like, just because you are set, what about your future generation? Have you done anything for your future generation that they will remember you? Or they'll thank you that I'm thankful for that person, whatever they did, and now I'm benefiting from their life.
Like and this is a great and this is part of the reason why we created generational icons, right? Well, we came up with the name, and just it's not just a name. Honestly, it's a lifestyle, right? And the reason why I say that is because when we look at it, so I'll say our definition now, and I'm sure obviously we both agree on this, is that to us a generational icon is someone who takes the trajectory of their family lineage, and it takes it to a different level, right? You can have an icon or icons, multiple people in your family who is changing their life, not only their life, but the life that's coming after them and before them. I am saying this because we all have a story, right? And everyone's story is already written by God, by Allah. And what I want to focus on is, as we're thinking about financial independence and how we correlate it to generational icons, is that our ancestors and our parents and people who came before us, they set up a foundation, or they set up something for us. They, to me, in my opinion, did something iconic for us to be here today. And then it's our job to take it to the next level for the next generation coming on, right? Because as you mentioned before, we also have there's another life after this, and we have a short span, right? In this world, you don't know when everyone's expiration date is. And so when it comes to generational icon, I think the person who changes the life of the next generation coming behind us, that person is a generational icon. So for example, in my family, I'm very big on this. So I'm very passionate about we're both passionate about financial independence. Like, we have a lot of objectives and goals that are very similar, and I can see that in you too. And for me and my family, I wanted to make sure we grew up really poor. I remember seeing my dad get deported and all those things. Like, I've had a very insane rough life. I almost died when I was 10 years old. And so we didn't grow up with the best hand, but everybody worked hard. So I think for example, the person who was a generational icon to me is my dad, right, and my mom, because of the sacrifices and the things that they've built and the foundation that they built for me to be where I'm today. So like, I love when you said, "Oh, my parents came here and they bought a house," right? Because I think you and my dad always said this to me too, that I have the foundation set. Like, you always have a home to come to. You don't have to worry about somebody kicking you out in an apartment. And so I didn't understand that when I was growing up, and now that I have my own place, that I think that to me is the American dream. To me, the American dream is not getting the house. The American dream is being able to build a home. I'm not gonna get emotional. But yeah, going back to my question to you, yes, I love what you said that, and one of my next questions for you is, when it comes to financial independence, and as you're thinking about, like, I personally think you're an icon, right? Because
Thank
of,
you.
or and you may be like, you're not. I'm not an icon, but I'm saying that because just based off your your background, the history, who you are today, who you've become from the past, and what your future looks like, and what you're seeing out there, right? What you're putting out there. And I think like you said, like, hey, we're trying to have a family, and so you're doing a lot. Like, we really don't know what our expiration date is, right? So you're doing all these things is to set up the next generation, or maybe you're not. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't speak. Go ahead. Like, if you want to touch on that.
So yeah, it's a great story you said, because similar to your story, similar to mine as well. That my parents, we didn't come from a very rich family, because back home my dad used to own a grocery store. So every business is has their struggle, ups and downs, right? So I would remember that my dad would go to work, like he would work 7 days a week. There is no days off, because if you own a store, you are running it. He didn't have manager. He had employees, two, three employees, but who's running it? Who's in the cashier? Like over here, you hired people to be in the cashier. Back home was my dad. He was doing that up until he came to America. He was doing that for most of his life, being there in the store, like from 8 in the morning until 9, 10 at night, every single day. Only days they would take days off, which may be on holidays, like Eid. We have 2 Eid, and maybe some days on Ramadan. But yeah, they did so much for us, and we're thankful for them to give us the education and the life that we had. And now because of them, we're here. We're having a great conversation, because they thought of us that, okay, we have to provide for our family, we have to give them the best education, and we cannot let them think of like we're struggling.
The best opportunity.
Best opportunity, right? So they did everything they could. It's now our job to take it to the next level. Maybe I don't know about your parents. My parents, they didn't go to college.
Yeah.
They didn't even finish high school.
Same.
So
I think they call it grade school. But
yeah. So they didn't even finish that. So even without even having all the education, they did so much for us. Yeah. But they understood the importance of education and educating yourself. Not maybe they were too focused on getting degrees. Maybe that part
they wanted to financially provide, like,
right.
They're doing all of this is because they want to be financially stable or independent, right? And because of that, they want to give you that better life.
Correct. And they don't want us to have the same struggle and same lifestyle that they had. Like they always had to struggle for money or financially.
They don't want their next generation to experience the
hardship they went through. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, let me give you a story. Like when I said I want to be a realtor, and they were asking what's my salary. I'm like, there is no salary. Like, what do you mean there is no salary? I said, it's a business. I tell my dad, he had business. So he would invest, he would buy product, and he sell them. So they're asking me, okay, what is your product? I'm said, me, I'm the product. So I'm going to sell houses. So where's the houses? So it's hard to explain them, right? So in the beginning, it wasn't easy for me. So I had to show them, I had to prove them that, okay, this is a business. I can have a life, or I can have a career in this real estate. So in the beginning, they know that you should get a bachelor degree, you should get a good job, like get 9-to-5 job, solid income, like you don't have to worry about
stability.
All that. Stability, right? So I understood that, right? Everybody likes to have stability, but for me, I didn't like that, because I was always like, okay, what's next? I want to do something by myself. So I have freedom and a power of my own time.
Yeah, they want you to pick one of the 3 Desi parent choices, which is doctor, lawyer, or engineer.
Engineer, yes, or so that be one of them. But I'm not.
If that is a standard, I'm considered a failure.
Yes. So if you consider that as a successful or failure, or if you think about like smart or not smart, if that's the category, then I'm not that smart. Because I cannot like understand or give
a
measurement, right? Like I respect, like don't get me wrong, we respect every profession, right? As long as you're happy with what you're doing, and you have to respect people. It's just not me. I cannot see myself being a doctor or being a nurse. I'm scared of going to the hospital. Like it's scary for me, right? But people working there, They like helping people. I also like helping people, but I like helping people in different ways, right? Not like I cannot take a blood from you.
Yeah.
Even though that's helping, that's doing my job, but I cannot do that. So that everybody has their own understanding and own goal.
I think maybe this is a great transition,
to our third segment, which is financial independence. And, how did you, what's the process of becoming a successful agent like yourself?
Yeah.
Or a
So
realtor?
yeah,
Well, there is a difference between realtor and agent.
Yes. So I'm going
which
to
I
tell you
think
that
you can,
briefly. Yes. So realtor is if you're part of National Association of Realtors Board Association, then you become realtor.
Right.
If you're not part of that, but you just hold your license, then you're just a real estate agent.
Right.
So how to get the license and started? So yeah, as first of all, you have to understand getting your license and being a realtor is not a job, it's a business. People see all this news and like social media. Even if you go to my social media, I rarely share my failure stories. Most of them are success stories and all that. I say if I post like I just listed or just in contract or just closed, people think, okay, this guy is making a good amount of money, a lot of money, right?
Is that a strategy like that you?
Yeah.
That's could be that's one marketing strategy. Like okay, I'm marketing myself. Like not just showing that okay, I'm showcasing that okay, this is what I did for my client. I can do this for you too. So that shows like proof of concept that I can help you. But to understand the backstory, like if you're thinking about as a career, you have to understand there is like ups and downs. I'm not here. No one starts from 100.
Yeah.
Like everybody starts from 0.
Right.
Like I have a quick story that even if you follow on my social media, you'll see that I made the video. I almost left real estate. That was like right before COVID. I'm like 10 months in my real estate career. Then COVID came in. Right before COVID, I had like 5 deals going on. As a new agent, 5 deals is a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was calculating 5 deals, average commission combined comes to 60,000. As a new agent, can you imagine 60,000?
It's a lot.
That's like a lot of money.
And somebody's
Like, that's like the salary is like a whole year.
Yeah.
I never made 60,000 in my whole life until then. Like I was driving Uber and all that. Like after tax and all, there wasn't that money. That wasn't a lot. So to lose that one after one, that was like I was
very disheartened.
depressed, down. That okay, what happened?
How did you recover from that? Like
It wasn't easy because I also didn't have any choice. Like during COVID, we had nothing else to do, right? I cannot go out, drive Uber because everybody's home. Who's taking Uber? And I don't want to put my family in risk. Like going
because
out
of
there.
the lockdown, you didn't want to
Lockdown
get
and all
sick.
that. So I kind of had no choice but to put more focus on real estate.
so you doubled down.
I doubled down. I said I spoke with my broker Anthony. Like, what should I do? I told him that I don't think this is the career for me. I have to find something else. Maybe this is not going to work for me. If I have to worry about a commission or deal to close, and after doing all the work, all of a sudden all the deals are gone, how I'm going to pay my bills and all that. So he said, you know what? You can go to different careers, but as of right now, you have very limited option.
Right.
You can double down on the things you can control, which is learn how you can deal with the situation, how you can better serve your client, focus on your career, focus on serving client more better, like how to negotiate for your clients. So I started doing that, and business started to pick up.
Right.
And since August 2020 up until now, alhamdulillah, I've been having multiple deals in pipeline all the time. Like if I have a closing,
Has there been a month where you have had no deals closing?
even if there is no deal closing, but I like some of the months I have 3-4 closing that kind of cover like the previous months or the future months.
Balances out.
It balances out. So some months we have 0 closing, some months I have 3-4 closing. So it's balanced out. So but the reason I'm saying that, you have to understand this is the lifestyle.
Right.
You have to keep some money aside. That's part of the we're gonna talk about financial independence and like financial freedom. That you have to have backup. You have to have few months of expense set aside for you to live off. So how do you get your real estate license? So first, you have to complete a 77-hour course. You can take it online or in person. There's a bunch of school out there. Once you complete that course, you have to take a state exam. So once you pass the state exam, you have to join a brokerage because you are a new agent. You cannot open your office by yourself. You have to work with someone for like certain years. You have to do certain deals. before you can have
Yeah,
your own
and just to
office.
clarify, there is a difference between being a broker and
Yeah.
being an agent as well.
Yes.
So you cannot be a broker first. You
No,
have
you
to be
cannot.
an
Just
agent.
just by having your license, you cannot get a broker license. You have
Yeah.
to complete certain amount of deals. I don't know exactly how many deals you have to do, but it's quite a good amount. Like you have to be in the
Right.
business for like at least 2 years. Maybe they're talking about changing it to 5 years. I have to double check.
Oh,
But
I see.
the fact you start with the brokerage. So
Yeah.
let's say I'm with Exit Realty Premium. So you get your
Right.
license, you join with us. What we do is we focus on training our agents. Because when I started, I was a new agent. I knew nothing about real estate.
Right.
I saw the entire process of my parents buying the house, but I didn't know how to talk to a buyer.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say or what not to say.
You didn't know the back end work.
Back and work. I just saw that my agent made so much money. I'm like, good
Make this-
lord.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool, he made all this money just by showing my houses.
Yeah.
But when I started doing that, like, wow, it's a lot of work goes
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not that easy. So you get your license and you start working with a mentor. You have to have a mentor who can guide you.
How do you pick one? Sorry to cut you off, but how do you like?
Find companies, find brokerage who has a very good training program for new agents, right? And they have someone like I had my broker. He guided me from day one. Or if you work with us, I'm the person. I train my agents. I have like 6-7 agents in my team. Even outside of my team, I have agents from a brokerage. If they reach
Right,
out to
within
me, I
the
train them.
network, yeah.
Within the network in our office, I help them. So training is super important. Like as a new agent, you need to know how to talk to people. You need to know what to say and what not to say.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you want to be in real estate, if you like real estate, if you like the numbers, if you like helping people, showing houses like myself, real estate might be a choice for you.
Right.
And we are more than happy to help you and guide you. I have like right now I have 6-7 new agents in my team, and they have so many questions, right? I love answering them.
Right.
We hold training. We had a training yesterday. They had so many questions. So we almost have every other week we have trainings. So we teach agents like, okay, what are the things you have to look after? Like, okay, in the beginning, what you should be doing to become successful in real estate. There's so many agents out there, right? How do you stand out?
Can we talk about that? I want for those who are seeing, and I know we're gonna wrap up soon. For those who are seeing, can you, like I said, this is a show that's transparent. Can you talk about what are some of the exact strategies that you're doing? That has you have a full pipeline. You didn't wake up with a full pipeline. What are some things that you're doing that are, someone who's maybe thinking about their career, like, I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm going to go into real estate after watching this. But, there's training and all that stuff. But what are some of the strategies that you are using that's helping you,
I try to meet 3 to 4 people every single day, every single day, new people. You never know who might be thinking to buy, or whoever you're talking, they might know someone who's looking to buy or sell. Right. So you cannot how do you say it? What's the word?
Be in a comfort zone?
Yeah.
Judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
You cannot judge people by their appearances, right?
Right.
I know people, they're rich, they're loaded, but if you look their outfit, they were like, this guy is nothing, right?
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be thinking that. You should be talking to everyone. Your mentality
looks can be deceiving.
Exactly.
A lot of people who, even are like multimillionaires, they're like the maintenance crew in their house, their properties, they look much worse, but they're like millionaires. So
well, we know when with Emran, we know that we cannot tell if he's already a millionaire or if he's going to be one.
It's all just for marketing.
I think he goes to sleep like this. He goes to sleep like this, wakes up like this, for sure.
It's just I'm marketing every moment.
Of course, no, that's true. Yeah,
you have to go out there, do your part.
Yeah, you have to play your part, make the effort, and
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's true. You said so. You meet people every day. I want to quickly touch on that, and then move on.
Yeah.
Do you have a list? Like, what do you do? Like,
so
how do you just wake up? Do you call people like randomly? What do you do?
So if you go specifically, if I go out, okay.
Yeah, please.
Like if I go to grocery or deli to get coffee, right? Have a conversation with the deli guy, or like if I go to the bank, like if I see people around me, having a conversation with them, right? Or on social media. Social media is big on, like everybody's on social media. Like it doesn't matter what age you are in, right? Yeah. Facebook, be part of all the groups that you are in. If you see someone is talking about real estate, say something about real estate or respond to them. Showcase that you're the person they should be reaching out if they have any question about real estate. Post on social media, because that's I'm big on. Like that's how I build. Like find a community. The easy way to build a brand, build your business, is find existing community you're part of. Like if you're part of a community, try to be part of it and try to explore. But if that's not you, if you think no, I cannot grow there, find something else that you can grow. But at least do something continuously, like every single day, every other week. But do it in a way that people remember you, not just like you post once a month and you disappear, and you don't come. People don't remember you like that. So consistency is the key.
Have a good networking strategy.
Go there. Like where are your target audience going? What are they doing? Like if there's an event, go there, shake hands, have a conversation, present yourself that okay, you are the person if they're thinking about real estate. People not gonna reach out to you just because you have a license. That's something you have to understand. That's because you have your business card. Doesn't mean you're gonna get business.
Right.
You have to do the work. You have to showcase. Like okay, why should someone work with you?
So as a new agent who, let's say, is representing a buyer, you said you have agents working with you now. What are some advices or strategies that you're giving them, because the game has changed now, right now?
We're learning as we speak. This is a new development that's happening for the last few months.
We're learning as we go.
As we go, we're learning, and we're teaching that. Listen, we have to, that's what I said. To showcase the value that you bring in.
Okay. So
why should they work with you?
What specific way are you telling your agents, like, say these things, do these things?
Like first of all,
strategies?
if you're looking for a house, right? You have a day job. You have family to work around. You don't have time to look for properties. You have agents like who's gonna look for properties, who's gonna negotiate for you, behalf of you, or with the seller's agent to get a good deal for you. And also give you market analysis. Like okay, this property will sell for this amount. This is how much it's worth. Let's say this product came on the market for $850. Let me give you an example, recent example. One of my agent did. Parkchester, 2-family, walking basement, 3/3, asking price $850. As an agent who knows the area, they know that they're listed for way less than market value.
Of course,
right.
to get
a maximum dollar.
Demand,
But if you don't know, if you don't know the market, you won't be able to guide your client that this is not the market value.
Right.
Unless if the house is perfect, there is no issue with the house, this is worth more than that. How do you know that? By knowing the market. So that property went going in contract. One of my guy got it. I don't know when you guys release it. By the time it will be under contract, they got it for $950. $100,000 over ask.
The asking was $850.
$850. Even though just because it's asking price doesn't mean that's the sell price.
Right.
It doesn't mean that's the valuation of the property. That's the three marketing. When you get a listing, we have three pricing strategy. We can we can price it under market value, price it market value or over market value.
Right.
So they decided to do under market value to get more people. They get 20 plus offers on the property.
Wow.
It's still in this market, like in this economy.
market.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a reverse psychology.
My agent got the deal.
I mean, is it by luck? Is it like
No, nothing happens in luck.
Yeah.
You have to be strategic, and you have to be intentional how you're submitting the offers.
So your agent beat out 20 offers.
Yeah.
And so what did he do different, for example?
Some of the things I cannot disclose, but I can say that his offer was more competitive among others. Even the listing agent, I was talking to him like, hey man, how many offers he got? He was telling me he got 995, almost 45,000 over my agent's offer. They still didn't take that offer. Why is that? Why would you not take higher offer?
Right.
Because that offer is not strong. Because the seller couldn't feel confidence that this person will close on the deal. They didn't feel confident that this person will be able to get a loan. So when my agent made the offer, he cleared like he was very how do you call it?
Persuasive.
Not persuasive. We were very transparent. Like okay, you want to sell? That's what you put on the market. We're offering you 100,000 over ask. My guy is ready to close 45 to 60 days. feel free to talk to the lender. Find out if this guy is qualified or not.
Yeah.
Find out if they can close.
Yeah.
Just because someone else is offering more than that, can they close? Because remember, we still have to take out a mortgage. Because loan, I'm sure you guys familiar with like loan. It's not easy. It's not like, okay, go to bank, show your pay stub, they give you loan. No, that's like a whole like 30, 60 days, sometimes 90 days.
The amount of things I had to do is unbelievable.
So you have to showcase that. How do you showcase your professionalism? How do you show that, okay, we'll get the deal done?
Okay.
So that's how you get the deal.
Right.
So that's what we are in the backside of it. Like I also part of the offer or the negotiation. So I help my agents that I have some experience, so I can pass on that.
So thinking outside the box and being creative and having the right strategies, like, so for new agents that are watching today or they're thinking about going in, I mean, I personally think you're a great mentor and a trainer, right? Because you're saying, hey, like these, this is what my agents are doing, or these are some of the things.
I try to share the experience that I have. Like, okay, every offer that I made didn't go through, right? Not every single one of them. If I give you an example, last month alone, I think I offered like 20 plus offers. Only 3 or 2 went through. What happened to all the rest of the offers? Didn't go through.
So what do you do with? Are you still working with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, 20 offers, not for 20 clients.
No,
Maybe it was like 5 or 10 clients.
Yeah.
So it's a number game. This business is a numbers game.
Right.
The more you do, the more, like if you have 5 clients,
The higher
maybe
the chances.
higher the chances. If you have 5 clients you're working with, maybe 2 or 3 will close.
So it's a volume game.
Yeah, it's a volume game. The more number of clients you have, the more number of deals you're gonna close.
Right.
Nice, man. That's
So so if you have a goal, like simple example, if you want to close 10 deals in a year, you cannot just work with 10 people, or you cannot just have a 10 conversation.
yeah.
You have to multiply that by at least 10, 20 times.
Wow.
If you want to close 10 deals, you have to work with at least 100 people.
Wow.
But out of that 100 people, probably like 20 or 30 people you'll be showing around working with.
Right.
Out of that, only 50 or 60% will be closing.
Wow. I like
It's
you
a
gave
number
us
games. Like like I said, if you want to close 10 deals, you have to work with at least 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Like when you work with 20, 30 people, not everybody's gonna close. If you can close every single one of them, great.
Yeah.
But it's a number game. Like even if you have 10 contracts, doesn't mean 10 of them will close
Yeah.
unless you do a proper job.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to have that's one of the things we do with our agent, that okay, how much you in the beginning of the year, how much you want to make for this year,
Right.
how can you achieve that? We're gonna break it down.
You have like set goals.
Set goals. Like okay,
Is
I
that
wanna
what
make
you do with your
100,000.
team?
Yeah, like every agent. Like how do you you wanna make 100,000, right? How do you get there?
Right.
Like you wanna work with seller or buyers?
Yeah.
Like some people say okay, 50-50. So you usually make more commission if you work with sellers, because you control
control
the
the-
commission
yeah.
and you can get the higher percentage. When you work with the buyer side, you depend on the seller agent to pay you. But again, this in the future this might change.
Yeah.
So let's say you working you decided you want to work with only buyers only, right? So buyers usually commission, let's say 2% of the sale price. So let's say it's 500,000, commission is 10,000. You don't walk away with 10,000. Your brokerage take 1%, like 1%, which is standard 30%.
Yeah.
After that, then you have to pay Uncle Sam on that money, because that money is not you haven't paid tax on it.
Yeah.
So that will stay. So you like maybe after paying all that, from the 10,000 original commission, you walk away with 4,000, 5,000, right? How do you get to 100,000?
I mean,
You have to multiply 10,000. How many deals you have to do now?
Yeah.
Like 20 deals.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So it's a number game.
Yeah.
And if you get commission, higher commission, then okay, you can have less deal, more commission.
Quality over quantity, basically.
Correct.
Man, you gave us you gave us a lot. You gave us a lot.
I hope it's not overwhelming. I'm
No,
not
no.
like I said. This is everything I shared is all from personal experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Can you give what's one piece of advice that you would give anyone, right, to any viewer or any audience member that's watching and listening, whether it's a new agent or just someone who is really inspired by your background and your story?
So one piece of advice.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many advice to give, but timing is everything. Maybe some people. I don't want to say lucky, but their timing was better than yours. Just because something is not happening in your time doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You just have to be patient and be committed with your goal and your mission and your purpose, and focus on that, and find a career that not just you enjoy, also is fulfilling to you, and it serves your purpose. And find a mentor. Like if you want to be like that person, find someone similar to that you can get hold of, or like get advice from, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. People, like, there is enough people out there who already became successful. So you don't have to be the super smart, or you don't have to be the most knowledgeable person in the room to be successful. You just have
use
to
your
follow.
resources.
You just use your resources and connect it with people who are already successful in the life. Having money and having family and being happy. If that's what
Happiness is the true success.
That's what I think as a happy person. Like, okay, and successful, that I'm happy. I'm happy with my family. I'm giving enough time to my family and doing good things for other people so they can remember me and pass it on to others.
Wow, what a jam-packed session, right? What a jam-packed episode, man. I'm inspired, and that's amazing.
It's been a great conversation. We learned a lot. I hope our viewers learned a thing or two, and we'd like to thank you for coming out here. And as we move on to the conclusion of our episode, we like to give you some airtime. Just take like a minute to say whatever you want, whatever is on your mind, whoever you want to shout out. It's all you.
So if anybody have any question about real estate career, and if you need guidance where to start and not sure if this is the right career for you, feel free to reach out to me.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on social media, Emran Bhuiyan. On Instagram, you can find me at Emran Exit Realtor, or you can reach out to me. My cell phone number is 347-261-7671, or you can visit my website, www.buyandsellwithemran.com.
Once again, thank you so much for watching. And Emran, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for coming, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.